Because that's really what it is. It's the photographs and stuff that come through the feed.
Right.
And I was like, what? Because she had like
because she did put it out
stuck
there.
under the bed, like the booty's up in the air, and her head stuck under the bed. At 63, grandma.
Yeah.
Both bisexual, they do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house fucking screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills. Bryshere Gray. Left that house fucking screaming. August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed a dog.
It's just what's bothering me is that being a celebrity sometimes comes with, like, everybody wants to be successful.
Because he recently leaked a purportedly graphic video of Will Smith and Diddy taking Bryshere Gray to Pound Town. 50 Cent appears ready to go all the way there with them. There have been rumors of some three-way activities between Will, Diddy, and Bryshere, and it appears that 50 Cent has confirmed it. If there is one thing we know about 50, it is that he despises Diddy. Will Smith appears to be in the crosshairs, but wait, Will just made it clear that he is avoiding being caught in the middle of this mess because he recently sued 50 Cent for trying to degrade him in this way. It turned out to be pretty messy because, as you all know, 50 is not the person you want to sneer at. As petty as they come, and it appears that he has more explicit videos of Will in some compromising situations. You all need to be sad for this because things are going to get messy.
The rumors of Will Smith being gay and having gay relations with, who was it with?
Diddy.
I know, right? Hold up. So apparently Will's assistant, which I don't know if this is true or not. I mean, the whole thing sounds fishy because the same guy tried to interview on my platform and I said no. But he claims he saw Will Smith with Dwayne Martin.
Oh yeah.
I know. I know nothing about this. This is crazy.
I mean, well, you should interview Tisha.
Tisha Campbell, who was married to Dwayne Smith. That'd be an interesting interview.
Wouldn't it?
It would. You know her?
I do.
All right, let's make some phone calls.
I don't know. But I mean, and then there's, what would be said and what wouldn't be said. But, I heard more rumors about Dwayne than Will.
Oh, you heard rumors about...
Well, even though the drama is still in its early stages, this confrontation between Will Smith and 50 Cent is already expected to be chaotic. For those who are unaware, Will Smith was Bryshere's mentor in the industry, meaning that they were close. However, 50 claims that there was much more going on than just mentoring because Will was allegedly taking Bryshere to Pound Town on the side, despite being married to Jada. On top of that, 50 claimed that Bryshere was also rumored to have been involved with Diddy after Will introduced them. To the surprise of everyone, he is claiming to have proof that all three males had 3 Ozams at orgies. With a cease and desist and a $10 million lawsuit against 50, Will Smith is not going to wait to find out if 50 actually possesses the tape or if he is bluffing. Will's reputation has been in ruins for some time, so it's not strange that he would want someone to link him to Diddy and his antics. He almost was fired during the Oscars controversy in 2022. But he has bounced back and is resolute to preserve his tranquility and reputation ever since. And if anyone is capable of ruining that reputation, it's 50 Cent. You see, he has a grudge against Diddy and Will, and his petty nature gives him ample reason to target them. The conflict between 50 Cent and Diddy has been simmering since the late 1990s at the time. 50 was the newest kid on the block, fresh off the success of his song How to Rob, and the industry was taking notice. Labels were lining up to sign him, and 50 actually had his eye on Bad Boy Records. Yes, he wanted to be honest, it wasn't some shady or personal move. It just didn't click for him at the time, according to former G-Unit member Tony Yao. Diddy was hesitant to sign an artist who was associated with guns and a gangster image after Biggie Smalls' death. 50 Cent's early days were marked by a strong emphasis on his gangster persona, which served as part of his first brand. Diddy also wanted to safeguard his label and brand by protecting Tony Yayo. disclosed that 50 Cent had successfully arranged a meeting with Diddy, but it was immediately apparent that Diddy had no intention of signing 50 and wasn't even willing to keep an open mind. Tony Yao stated, "We were with Diddy, and it was me and 50, and he took the meeting out of respect. He had deals all over the table. I wasn't saying he was going to take the deal. He might not have, but Diddy didn't want to take the deal because of all the drama, but 50 was the hottest man on the planet. Went on to have an extremely prosperous career, but he never forgot his resentment of Diddy. He took advantage of every chance to criticize and tease Diddy. And he was among the first to troll Diddy for being gay years before we even learned what Diddy was into behind the scenes. Nevertheless, Diddy has consistently insisted that there is no animosity between him and 50, saying, 'I have no beef with 50. He loves me.' When you think about it, do you really believe that's hate? You've been here for a long time, and you know he loves me. When he does that, make you laugh. I don't really take it personally. I know he has a different sense of humor, but we don't have to cross paths. I won't say anything about him because sometimes people act like they love you, even though they don't." As for his feud with Will Smith, that began because of 50 Smartmouth 50. But things changed after the whole entanglement drama between Will, his wife Jada, and August Alsina. "Yo, will you all be okay over there?" Jada asked Will in a direct message after they had a conversation on the Red Table Talk 50. Will said, "Yes, I'm cool. I appreciate your concern, my brother." 50 following that, "But why does she tell you?" "That it is on a show for everybody to see. After we split up," Will remarked, "I did me, and she did her." 50 wouldn't let it go though, stating, "Then she said that only she can authorize someone to blow her back out." Will finally had enough of his bullshit and said, "F you 50. He didn't stop there, though, as 50 trolled him when Will slapped Chris Rock on stage for the Jada joke. Jada then said, "Now look what she's done. She has the power," with an eye roll. To make him go up and slap somebody on stage, Jada was made fun of by 50 when she disclosed that Tupac had allegedly proposed to her. Stating, "Thug life. Jada is in New York seeking for a Puffy Lamo. You think you're going to get discard this?" In addition, Jada mentioned that she had sold drugs when she was a teenager. And 50 wrote, "All right, enough is enough. Free Will Smith. What is going on?" We could go on and on about 50's trolling, but I think you all already have the idea. However, his recent allegations regarding Diddy, Will, and Bryce are set to blow things up even more, but he is not the first. The rumors have been going around for a while. When Archer was a teenager, he met Charlie Mack, manager of talent with all the necessary contacts. Charlie saw something in Bryshere and ended up getting him an audition for Empire. He went in, did his thing, and got the part. The next thing you know, he's out in LA starring on a hit show with Charlie as his manager. Unfortunately, he didn't realize that this was just the beginning of an insane journey in the industry. At first, Charlie seemed like the ideal fit because he knew everyone and had a lot of power in Hollywood. He began introducing Bryshere to some big names, including Will Smith, and the two clicked immediately. Which isn't considering how well Brother was doing on Empire. Will took on the role of mentor. Everything seemed perfect on the surface after all. Who wouldn't want advice from someone like Will Smith? But things didn't exactly go as planned. Will saw more in Bryshere than just an actor. He believed that he had genuine potential as a rapper, which is what Bryshere had always desired. Acting was never the dream. Rapping was the only reason he even considered Empire. He thought it might be helpful because it had a musical component. Launched his rap career, so they set up a meeting with Diddy. At the time, seemed like an opportunity because Diddy was a major force in the music and production industry. And working with him could have been huge. However, looking back with everything that has come out about both Will and Diddy, the red flags were definitely there. But they weren't as obvious because nobody really knew what was going on behind the scenes or who they were really dealing with. Diddy and Will Smith have been under investigation for more than 20 years. Several people in the industry have accused them of doing inappropriate things to other men in the industry. For instance, Alexis Arquette, who knew Will personally, revealed that Will's first marriage to Cher Zampino ended because Sherry caught him in bed with another man, Lexis wrote. When Jada comes out as gay and her beard husband admits his first marriage ended when she walked in on him servicing his sugar daddy, Benny Medina. Then I will listen to them. She's his first. Silent Alexis paid off. In addition to Arquette, Jaguar Wright also voiced her opinions about Will, claiming that he had dated younger men in the business, but not in the manner that people may have assumed. According to Wright, Will would initially appear to be a mentor, offering advice and support, but then things would allegedly take a turn for the worse, leaving some of the young men feeling taken advantage of and extremely hurt. Interview.
To be Tupac, and she proved it when she fucked August Alsina.
Ooh, man. Yeah.
They're both bisexual. They do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house fucking screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills, Bryshere Gray, left that house fucking screaming. August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed a dog.
Hey, man.
And that was they kid's friend.
Yeah.
Who the fuck can believe that shit is real?
Guys recall that period in 2013 when there were rumors that Diddy was being investigated by the Federal Bureau of Investigation. The rumors said that Diddy was sleeping with younger men in the industry, and while it didn't make much news at the time, it was undoubtedly out there. Looking back, it kind of makes you a U.S. District Court has reported that James Roseman, a music manager turned cocaine kingpin, was questioned about the sexual preferences of entertainers, including whether Sean Diddy Combs was having intimate relationships with underage boys during a debriefing session with federal investigators. Made one wonder what was actually happening behind the scenes. Then came Cassie's shocking lawsuit. And that's when Diddy's private life really came to light. Let's just say it was a complete mess, and it was far from glamorous, Cassie disclosed. That Diddy had a thing for male escorts and would allegedly drag her into these. He was known as freak-offs. And she claimed that he would hire these men and then coerce her into doing things with them while he watched. However, Cassie claimed that he actively directed these encounters, giving her detailed instructions on what to do and how to do it. It was unsettling, to put it mildly, and once those details were revealed, everything changed. Modified to increase the fire's fuel supply, according to Gene Deal. Diddy's former bodyguard, Diddy wasn't merely a spectator, but actively participated in the freak-offs. Gene further claimed that Diddy even gave Cassie a shopping list to find the ideal escort, but not for her enjoyment, but rather for Diddy's own satisfaction.
For their freak-off sessions. And she say that, in this lawsuit that, Diddy, he enjoyed watching her get smashed by BBCs. So, what you think about that?
Do you think she was the only one getting banged by him? Do you think this man had this woman search for prostitutes online just for them to have sex with her? It's something fishy about that, bro. Because you gotta realize this lawsuit and the information they had and they gave the Diddy people was...
Crazy part comes here. Diddy's freak-offs weren't only about Cassie. There was a long-running story that Diddy and Will weren't just pals, but were actually involved in some of these weird encounters together. Yes, I know it sounds crazy, but that's what people have been talking about for years. And then the true bombshell came. Jada acknowledged being apart from Will for some time, cast a completely different light on the situation, and all of a sudden the rumors that Diddy and Will were more than just friends began to make sense. But wait, there's more. Will's close friend and former assistant Bill made a shocking revelation on Tasha K's show, claiming that he accidentally entered the dressing room where Will and actor Dwayne Martin were having sex.
If you got eyes on Will, we need him to come watch this. So I'm running all over the studio. He's not in his dressing room. I go to the cafeteria. I'm like, but I see his car there. I'm like, where's this guy at? So now I'm holding Dwayne down too, so I have the keys to his dressing room. So I'm like, yo, and they're calling I'm on walkie-talkie and they calling my cell phone. Yo, we need to get Will here. I'm like, yo, kind of fuck down. Like, I'm trying to find this. Like, this is unlike him, right? So, all right, I open the door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne and having anal sex with Will.
Let me process that for a second.
There was a couch, and Will was bent over on the couch, and Dwayne was standing up, killing him.
Whatever was going on between Will and Dwayne seems mild in comparison to the full-on freak show he and Diddy were allegedly getting into. Now, let's get into the whole Will Smith mentorship situation with Bryshere, because things get really weird. As we know, Will introduced Bryce to Diddy, but it wasn't just a mentor-mentee hookup. According to rumors, Will wasn't just looking to mentor Bryce in the industry. He also pitched him as a potential player in their freak-offs. Here's the rumor. Will and Diddy allegedly pulled Bryce into their freak-off madness, promising him a career boost if he cooperated. Bryce decided to leave because he could no longer handle that lifestyle. However, the timing couldn't have been worse. Shortly after he left, Empire ended, leaving him jobless. After the show concluded, things really took a turn for the worse for Bryshere. At first, people assumed he wasn't handling fame well, but rumors have it that Diddy and Will weren't when he left. And they allegedly blacklisted him and made sure he couldn't get work in the industry again. Recall Cassie's statement that Diddy threatened her career when she wanted to leave. And it seems that Bryshere went through something similar. Word is Diddy and Will allegedly took revenge on him by ruining his career after he attempted to leave, and according to the rumors, they even threatened to keep quiet about everything. Or else, after Empire ended, Bryshere decided to focus on music. He released some good songs and even had plans for a tour. All of a sudden, the radio play stopped coming in, the audition calls stopped coming in, and he was left out in the cold. It doesn't take a genius to figure out who was allegedly pulling the strings behind the scenes. The entire ordeal obviously took a toll on Bryshere, especially when you factor in the trauma from those freak-offs. After Empire ended in 2020, Bryce moved out of his apartment. But things took a turn for the worse when he was sued by his landlord, claimed that he and his dog had caused $26,000 worth of serious damage, including dog poop smeared all over the place and the toilet getting clogged. As Jaguar Wright said about Will Smith, this whole ordeal really messed him up. Broken from him flushing down to many condoms, and the smell of marijuana lingered in the apartment, even though it was a no-smoking unit. Looking back, this sounds a lot like the aftermath of a freak-off, as Cassie described in her lawsuit. Then, in July 2020, things took a crazy turn when a woman named Candace ran into the streets, stopping people and pleading for help. She claimed to be a victim of domestic violence and that her husband was abusing her. One Samaritan helped her get to the police, and that's when she claimed to be Bryshere's wife.
Verify what you're telling.
Good evening, thanks for joining us. Up first tonight, we're following breaking news in the arrest of Bryshere Gray, one of the stars of the hit show Empire. Tonight, we're seeing hours of new video from his July arrest that ended with his wife flagging down police and telling them the actor had assaulted her for hours inside their Goodyear home. The bizarre jailhouse interview lasting for 2 hours as they try to piece together a chaotic chain of events.
Team 12's Michael Doudna brings us the late-breaking details from the celebrity's high-profile arrest right here in the Valley.
A TV star in handcuffs after police say he assaulted his wife.
I have a career.
In a heartbreaking account she gave to the police, she claimed that Bryshere had gotten physical with her, even choking her until she passed out. She said that things escalated when she confronted him about his infidelity, at which point he reportedly snapped, claiming that the argument had descended into a full-on rage.
The alleged crime, brutal. Gray's wife calling 911 after escaping him at a Goodyear QT. claiming Gray punched her hundreds of times, strangled her, and threatened her with a knife. But Gray claims to police it wasn't him, but some guy named Mark.
I guess they got into an argument, whatever. I was at my friend's house playing football.
But Gray's wife says she knows exactly why Gray claimed Mark carried out the crime. In what is a bizarre 2-hour interview with police, the actor constantly changes his story.
I don't live in that regular world space, you know what I mean?
At one point, Gray claims to police he learned about the massive presence outside of his Goodyear home in a phone call at a...
After all of that chaos, Bryshere tried to make a comeback in Hollywood by acting like a newcomer and even was willing to take big pay cuts just for a shot. But that industry blacklist was serious, and no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't catch a break. It's a heartbreaking story. But if 50 Cent is to be believed, Will is just as complicit in Bryshere's downfall as Diddy is. It makes sense now why Will is trying to silence 50, because this could get him canceled big time. That being said, fans were shocked when pictures and videos of him from his OAF leaked, believing it was all a lie. His Twitter bio is something, to say the least.